In order for problems to be fixed, they need to be discussed. And in order for you to get through to people's heads, sometimes you have to scoot to their level. Sometimes you have to scoot to their level a little bit just so that you don't make them feel like you're judging them, because you want to come to a conclusion, to an understanding on why the problem or why it's happening. When stuff was being stolen, I was wondering, why is it happening? I'm an observer, so I began to observe the situation to try to understand the problem here. And so because when I first moved into Radius, people started to donate right when I moved in, because they weren't doing it before. So I started seeing clothes downstairs. It's almost as if they knew I was coming. So I started to see clothes downstairs, and it said donations. So I was like, okay, great, I'm grabbing these donations. So I started posting videos of donations. I started taking donations downstairs, and there are people that started leaving donations on the table. So there's some things that are donations and some things are just packages. There's some packages that people opened up, and if they didn't like it, they left it inside of a little bin where anybody can take it. Once it's open, it's no longer usable. So there are times where the package is open and nobody takes it, and it just sits in the room, and the cleaner doesn't clean it because the staff said they're not supposed to touch it. So somebody takes it. So I took one of those things, and it was like some wipes or something, and I was like, okay, well, I can use this. It must be donations, right? So when people don't explain this, when you don't do things in order, it confuses people, making people feel like they have no choice but to take things that don't belong to them, when that's not really the case. But when you don't organize it either, it makes people that are actually thieves, it gives them an opportunity to actually steal, right? And so what I'm saying here is that there are packages that get left in the bin that from residents that moved out and are still receiving gifts from people in their family, and nobody picks up those packages. Somebody needs to deal with those packages. If the staff doesn't deal with them, then the residents have no choice but to deal with them. So the residents shouldn't attack each other for things like that, because it's not their fault. It's nobody's fault except for the company for not hiring someone to actually. But when I spoke to the company, they said Amazon is supposed to come and pick up whatever packages that are not picked up. But Amazon feels like that's not their job. They feel like, I haven't spoken to them to necessarily hear that, but they feel like that's none of our business. If they don't pick up, we got our money. You feel me? You got your shit. We got our money. If you don't pick it up, that's your fault. So these are like small issues to talk about. They're like things like, they're like the ground at the pool. These are things I'm looking at. Like if this was my company, there is a hole in the ground that somebody can easily fall on and trip on. Those are things that I'm trying to talk to the company about fixing, because they have to do with people's lives. This package issue is not much of a big deal, but it is a big deal now that I already know it was a big deal, because everything that I get is important. Like this juicer is very important, something that I use to actually juice so that I can be healthy. The stuff that I get is too important for me to leave behind so that somebody can take my actual package and in exchange for theirs. I don't want people's packages because they don't have what I need. The stuff that I get is for my specific needs. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the only reason I did what I did was because I don't want to feel like I'm snitching. I'm the one looking at everybody and telling them do this, do that. No, I'm here with you. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to tell you, listen, you're not alone in this. I want to help you guys. But if you keep complaining about stupid things that I'm doing, like I'm talking about sitting in the lobby drinking beer, which is not illegal, which is not breaking my lease or my contract, right? Which is bringing my suitcase down. Being harassed for laying on the couch that I'm supposed to lay on. These are all things that twerking in the pool. Like I have people complaining about the dumbest shit where I'm like, listen, we have bigger things to deal with. Like, how long are we going to be talking about the stupidest shit in the world, right? Do you want these issues to be fixed? Who do you think they're listening to when it comes to getting the security guard? Me. So I'm trying to talk to them. But I don't talk to them with just words. Do you see me with a bunch of emails? They'll tell you I don't sit there. I email them, but I email them when someone complains about me, when someone puts a note on my door. I don't sit there complaining to them, watching other residents and what they're doing. Most residents are inside of their apartment, right? I don't go inside of your apartment because I'm outside. It gives people access It's almost like a celebrity. Because a celebrity is out in the open, people feel like, oh, they can talk about that celebrity because that celebrity is out. They can see that celebrity's flaws. They can see that celebrity. So because I'm out of my apartment, people see what I'm doing and they're wondering because it's unusual. And I have a conversation that I actually recorded that I was talking to Jenny about. Just because it's unusual doesn't make it against the law. There are unique people all over this world and this planet. Don't complain about the unusual because it's not like I snuck in this building. I live here. I have human rights, especially as a person with a disability. When people don't do their job and they say they're my caseworkers and yet nobody's calling me, and they say they're going to call me, but they don't call me, they confuse me and keep me from doing my part in calling for myself because I'm thinking, okay, you're going to do it, right? Since you're going to do it, I don't have to do it. And then I fail, and then I end up not doing it only to find out that she didn't do it either. And now I'm left behind. I've fallen behind on my medication. And now I find myself relapsing and drinking beer all over again, dancing on the table because I'm drunk. And I don't dance on the table because I'm drunk. It's just alcohol loosens you up. And it's a form of communication and retaliation when your mind is being messed with. When your mind is being picked on, instead of acting out, instead of beating people up, instead of breaking windows, what I do is dance. That's what any other artists do. What artists do is, instead of losing their mind, they turn their anger into craft. They turn it into music. That's why you hear rappers talking about killing and shooting. Whatever they do to them, they start putting it into their music, and that's the smartest thing to do into their craft. And that's what I do. And because they don't have a dance studio, and because people are complaining about me everywhere I go, if I'm in the pool dancing, if I'm playing my music, I perform at the pool, that's my business. So I can sue the company actually for harassing me, for sending the staff to harass me instead of telling them to stop harassing me. They have to stop harassing me. They have to stop. If I'm inside of my apartment playing music, that's my human right to play music. They're telling me, the staff is telling me I can't play music inside. I can't play music outside. I can't play music. That's harassment. Do not harass me. Leave me alone. And now it's time to open a bigger conversation about the packages, because I literally don't want people's packages to be taken. But at the same time, I do know that I do understand exactly what's going on. There are packages that are being left behind because people move out. There is Airbnb, people that come live here for a couple of months and they have to go back. People that come live here for school. I've spoken to them. I've had real conversations with these people. I'm the one that's actually downstairs talking to them. You guys are not. That's how I know. So when people come to move here for Airbnb for a week, they're like, hey, can I use your address? But then when they leave, then the package gets left behind. And that's another package that's left for someone to take. Because if somebody doesn't take it, it's just going to take up space. And every day new deliveries are always coming in. Always coming in. Are you going to clean it up? Are you going to be part of the solution? Or are you going to be a part of the problem? Is what you're going to have to start asking yourself. Because if they try to even say they're going to take me to court over this, I got so much to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. Then why didn't you hire some? And I speak with respect because I know the owner of the person, whoever, I don't know if it's management, but whoever is rearranging the living room, the downstairs, and actually hiring a security guard and this, I feel like they're listening to me. So I'm going to be very gentle with them. I'm not speaking to sound like I'm being rude or like you know what I mean? Because I do understand how hard it is to be an owner, how hard it is to run a company. So I want to be gentle with you. But the rest of them I'm yelling at because they are not understanding. I'm pretty sure the boss is yelling as well, right? I'm pretty sure if he's not, he wants to yell. I'm here to work with this place, not to take from this place. I don't have time to take. You see, I got a voucher. I didn't have to steal my way to the top. I volunteered my way to the top. So consider this a form of volunteering. or interior